Welcome back, everybody. La Colombe is one of South Africa's most iconic and internationally acclaimed fine dining establishments. The flagship and the original of the La Colombe Group, set in the Silver Estate, continues to exceed expectations. With impeccable service and an award-winning wine list, La Colombe is a truly unforgettable experience. This esteemed restaurant promises an unforgettable experience that will delight your senses and leave you in awe of the beauty of food, wine and nature. To know more about South African Fine Dining Institution, we're now joined virtually by the executive chef of La Colombe, James Garg. James, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Thanks for that lovely intro as well.
Absolutely.
Describes us very nicely.
Indeed, indeed. And let's talk about the experience that people get at La Colombe restaurant.
Experience, I think, look, I mean, La Colombe is a fine dining restaurant, so we serve a tasting menu, a lengthy one and a slightly shorter one. But I mean, to describe an experience, I think is a little bit difficult to do in conversation like this. I think it's something that needs to be felt, and so much goes into it. So, is it the service, is it the stemware, the glassware, the plates, of course the dishes as well. But I mean, there's so much that goes into your experience that I think, it's best to come and experience it yourself. But my goal really for all the diners that eat La Colombe is to give them, something to think about maybe, but most of all a memory, something that they'll take away with themselves and, talk about for days and weeks and hopefully years to come, and eventually, and I suppose, try to get them back into the restaurant at some point.
I haven't been to La Colombe just as yet, but just going through the website and some of the pictures, they are absolutely amazing. I mean, I get the sense that whenever you just get immersed into the beauty and the splendor of La Colombe, you're just taken on a journey that nobody has ever taken you to. So what's the secret of that? What's the secret to La Colombe's enduring success and its ability to consistently produce world-class chefs?
Difficult. I think a lot of it has to do with the team. Well, I mean, everything has to do with the team, really, because I suppose without a great team, both front of house and kitchen, you can't achieve anything. What I like personally is I like to keep the environment fun, and I like to keep it lighthearted. Not to say that it's not a hard kitchen. It's an incredibly difficult kitchen and quite a difficult environment to work in, obviously, because we're trying to pump out the best we can possibly produce every single day. I mean, look, I think the focus for us at La Colombe is very much also teaching. I have a lot of students from a lot of different cooking schools, and I think what helps obviously is that if you're continuously teaching someone, you're simultaneously continuously honing your own skills. And I think, I think that's the probably one of the key reasons we continuously do very well is, we've got a team that believes and dreams of the same things that I do, and so they will help us sort of push the restaurant in the right direction.
Yeah. And how does the restaurant continue to innovate and stay ahead of the culinary curve after over 2 decades of excellence?
I think I'm very lucky that I travel a lot, and I like to take the leadership of the different restaurants with me. I think that keeps us really fresh and motivated and interested, because you see different cultures and different ingredients, different methods, maybe something you've never thought about or never seen before. And I think, I think it allows us to keep fresh and interested in new things and continuously drive the food and the service and everything forward.
And just going through some of the reviews and just looking at the pictures on the website, I get a sense that your main focus is the French and Asian cuisine. So how do you and your team at La Colombe manage to balance the fusion of French and Asian flavors with the use of foraged ingredients?
I think it used to be very French Asian. I think I'd prefer to describe our food as globally inspired.
Okay.
As I said, it's not focused only on Asian. It's not French in any way. It really is it can be a mix of anything, really. I think the most important thing is that it is immediately delicious, and I think that's the most important thing always. I mean, I've had Mexican flavors, Indian, Thai, German flavors. So it doesn't really matter. I think the overriding factor needs to be that it needs to be delicious immediately as soon as you taste it. And I think certainly blending a whole lot of different cultures or different cultures makes our menus maybe more interesting, unique, different. I mean, in terms of foraging, we're very lucky where we're situated on the mountain, where pretty much everything and anything can grow. We're able to go out in the mornings and forage and use the different, herbs and shrubs in our food and in our presentation. So, yeah, it's still a challenge, but it's fun.
And I suppose that has culminated in you guys winning the Best Restaurant in Africa award. So what would you attribute that to? Would you attribute it to the service, the curation of the menus, the amazing dishes, the ambience? Or you just mentioned that you are perched on a mountain,
Well,
and I suppose the fusion of the scenery and the great food is what makes it tick, isn't it?
Yes, but I think what you just said, I mean, I think we're very lucky, but as I said at the beginning, I think the staff is really what makes the restaurant. It's without a fantastic team in the front and in the kitchen, you're never going to achieve anything fantastic. So I mean, everyone needs to believe in the same goal and arrive to work to do their absolute best and tomorrow to do their best plus one.
Yes.
And I think I'm very lucky that I have a really great team in the front and great team in the kitchen that help us, move towards the common goal of trying to just constantly improve and try and, creep up the world rankings and showcase, Africa.
Oh, for sure. Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely. And your menu leans more heavily towards local and seasonal produce, allowing the ingredients, of course, in their prime to shine in each dish. So what inspired the decision to focus on local and seasonal produce at La Colombe?
I think it's a pretty obvious decision, really. I mean, I think flying ingredients in, apart from just the cost and sort of the carbon footprint, the ingredients that are available locally and in season, it's almost a no-brainer not to use them because they're at their prime. We can get them now at their. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a decision that we changed suddenly to do only local ingredients. We've done it forever. It makes total sense to go and get the best you can possibly get. And use it in its prime.
Yeah, and having said that, how do the chefs work with the local farmers and suppliers to ensure the freshest, the highest quality ingredients are showcased in each and every dish?
I think we've got a few farmers that we work closely with, and I'm always on the phones to them and speaking to them about new ideas or different ingredients that we might have seen somewhere and would like to try and grow here. Maybe someone grows it and no one knows about it. Or trying to get different seeds down and growing them. Is it a different cut? Is it a different aging process? I think what's more important is that you find those special small producers and that you get along with really well. And in return, they'll always make sure that you get the very best. And, I can pick up the phone to any one of them and say, I need this now, and or can you do this specific thing for me? And they're more than willing to help because we have a really great relationship. So, yeah.
All right, James, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was James Garg, the executive chef at La Colombe, sharing his experience of serving customers with fine dishes.